Gymnastics is most often defined by an individual's performance. Its power, its skill, its precision, its grace, and its dedication. They all mark the path to individual glory. But today, that single-minded quest isn't enough. Today, it's one man and one woman, together as a team in search of a championship. The Emerald City in the great Pacific Northwest. Its world-famous Space Needle cuts its striking figure in the Seattle skyline, and just down below in the Seattle Center Arena, some of the best gymnasts in the world have gathered. USA Gymnastics and NBC Sports present the 1995 International Mixed Pairs. And hi, everybody, I'm Dan Hicks. We really think you're going to enjoy this unique format of gymnastics today. It consists of 3 rounds. 16 pairs of teams begin the competition. The top 8 teams from the first round advance to the second round, and the top 3 teams advance to the third and final gold medal round. Now, we have our own mixed pair of television analysts here today, Tim Daggett and Alfie Schlegel. We'll see some great gymnastics out there today, but we're also going to see some strategy.
Well, Dan, first of all, the athletes have to pick 3 events, and they have to ask themselves a question: what do I start with? And this is where the strategy comes into play. Do they go out with their big event, go for a big score, or do they save that apparatus for the third and final round and hope that that's enough to win?
And that's right, Elfie, but you also have to remember that sometimes your biggest scoring potential event can also be your riskiest event, like the women's balance beam or men's high bar. So you just can't go out there and do your very best. You also have to pick a consistent one.
Well, we'll be watching 3 American teams out there today, but specifically, who are some of the top U.S. athletes we should keep an eye on?
Well, we should definitely focus in on J.C. Phelps and Josh Stein. Now, J.C. was a member of the World Championship silver medal team. She has very little international experience, just 15 years old. Obviously, she'll use this event as a great stepping stone towards the Atlanta Olympics.
And, you know, her teammate Josh Stein, he may not be a household name at this point in time, but he's a very consistent athlete. He's been a member of 2 NCAA team champions from Stanford, and like I said, his best quality is he's a very consistent athlete.
Well, we are in a gymnast world. Tim Daggett, you stand, what, 5 feet 6 inches tall. Alfie Schlegel is all of 5 feet 3. It's not important what I stand because I'm not a gymnast, but also working with us today is Marianne Grabavoy, and she stands a sprite 5 feet 2 inches.
Well, Dan, make that 5 feet almost 2 inches, and I may be the smallest member of the broadcast team. But wait till you see the smallest and youngest athlete in today's competition. You know, every so often, a young gymnast comes along whose captivating qualities make her capable of stealing the show. Watch today for Mina Kim. She's barely tall enough to see over the balance beam. She stands just 4 feet 3 inches tall. She weighs all of 58 pounds, and she's just 13 years old. And she's had the good fortune of practicing the last 3 years in Steve Nuno's Oklahoma City gym with none other than world all-around champion Shannon Miller. Mina, what's it been like to train with Shannon Miller?
It's really neat to have a 2-time world champion and an Olympian in your gym to see every day who sets the highest standards in the world.
What is it that you admire about Shannon?
She's really quiet and she gives 100% every day.
Well, good luck today. You start off on the balance beam, your favorite event. It's a gutsy move. That's it from Mighty Mina. Dan, back to you.
All right, Marianne, thank you very much. Now, in addition to the rules we discussed at the top of the show, remember, only 2 United States pairs may advance to round 2, and only 1 U.S. team may advance to the final round.
And Dan, we actually have some mixed pairs, athletes from different countries competing as one team.
And Tim, a mixed pair actually won this competition back in 1989. Wendy Bruce from the United States and Li Jing from China.
So as J.C. Phelps gets ready for her uneven bar routine, let's take a look at some of the first round action, and we'll begin with Ukraine's Irina Bulakova on the floor.
And a really nice-looking athlete. She could definitely be a contender in this mixed pairs competition. She's been part of World Championship teams and Goodwill Games teams.
And her teammate today, also from Ukraine, Rustam Sharipov on the rings.
And he's one of the international veterans here. He shows what rings is all about. Got to be strong.
From Romania, Anna Maria Bican on the floor.
She was fantastic in the American Cup, and you can expect to see some hot stuff from this young lady today.
And her teammate, not from Romania. Instead, he's from Italy, Marcello Barbieri on the vault.
This guy really likes to have fun out there. We're going to enjoy watching him today.
Now, Japan has a very formidable team. This is Mari Kasuge on the uneven bars.
19 years old, the national champion. She's been around an awful long time, packs in a lot of difficulty in all her routines.
And also the best Japan has to offer on the men's side is that man right there, Hikaru Tanaka on the parallel bars.
And this is one of the best events of the competition. This guy is all over this event.
From the United States, Mohini Bhardwaj on the uneven bars, her first round routine.
And only her second international competition, has great difficulty, a name to watch for.
Her teammate, Rob Kiefer from the United States, here on the vault.
One of the major tricksters for USA men's gymnastics. He's got the difficulty. He just needs to be consistent today.
And remember, these are teams, so the scores you see are the combined scores. When we come back, we will see the U.S. team of Josh Stein and J.C. Phelps. Well, last November at the World Team Gymnastics Championship in Dortmund, Germany, 15-year-old J.C. Phelps, a part of that silver medal winning United States team, and now beginning with the uneven bars. That was just her first international competition in Germany, Alfie.
And Dan, I think she surprised herself and her coach, Mary Lee Tracy, but a very cool competitor. Now she's added some new skills, having a little bit of trouble with consistency in the last few months. Now, the uneven bar is a very strong event for JC. She has a couple of release skills planned. There's her first one. Look at the tremendous height on that Tkachev. Beautifully done. Second release to Jaeger, and she's down. She's had some trouble with that move in the warm-ups, and really unfortunate. It was a beautiful skill, but just couldn't hang on. Ripped off the bars.
She really performed flawlessly in Germany, hit all of her routines, and is just for the first time competing on the national team.
I think that's one of the toughest things to adjust to, is when you're having a string of great competitions and all of a sudden you're making mistakes. Ends it well with a beautiful dismount, double front. Just a very, very small step on the landing.
Beautiful in the air. Okay. Let go a little early. All right.
Got to stay over the top of it and land. Good finish.
Coach Steve Elliott obviously just let go a little bit too early. No major technique wrong with this at all.
Yeah, Tim, take a look at the height. It's beautiful, well above the high bar, and she's on fingertip control. You can see just didn't even have a chance of hanging on. It's a lot of force coming down on that bar, and we'll take a closer look and see just how close she was. I thought she may have been able to save the move, but you can see right there, just fingertip control. She really just tapped the bars.
So now it's Josh Stein, her teammate, which will compete on the pommel horse, knowing that J.C. Phelps has fallen. Will that put extra pressure on him, Tim?
Well, you know, especially in the early rounds right here, Dan, he's going to need just about a perfect exercise for this team to even advance. So far, working extremely well. No struggles until right there. Of course, in gymnastics, the object is to make it look as effortless as possible. Good exercise by Josh Stein. Just that one little bit of a scrape on the horse and a little bit of a struggle halfway through the routine.
His score will be combined with his teammate, J.C. Phelps.
This is where it just went a little bit wrong for Josh. He should just fly up to that handstand. You noticed a little bit of the stumble on the horse there. But I tell you, the thing that I'm so impressed with this athlete is he really deals with problems very well, like a veteran.
He is the team captain for Stanford's gymnastics team, 22 years old, an English and a pre-med major. He'll graduate in the fall of '96, and now awaiting his score to be combined with his 15-year-old teammate, J.C. Phelps.
The score for J.C. Phelps on an even bar.
9.1 for Phelps and a 9.4 for Josh Stein. And the combined score in round one, 18.5.
That's going to make it tough for this American team. Remember, only 2 American teams can advance to the second round.
Now our first look at 13-year-old Mina Kim, and she begins with her favorite apparatus, the beam, which she can barely peer over.
Again, a pretty gutsy move on Mina's part, the balance beam, a very risky event to start the competition off on, but she is amazing on this apparatus.
She is listed at 13 years old. Now, in order to compete in the Olympics, a gymnast must be 15. She would not be 15 by Atlanta if this birth date was, in fact, her real one.
Actually, there's some controversy over that. Her coach, Steve Nuno, contends that when you're born in Korea, first major tumbling pass right here, though. Oh, right on. When you're born in Korea, you're actually a year old, so he's contending she actually will be eligible.
Well, stay tuned. I'm sure this story will continue to develop.
Nice little combination, but having a little bit of a problem right there. Almost flipped over the beam, but she covers up well, like a veteran. What I'm most impressed about is the maturity, her style, her dance ability. She has all the difficulty, but she's so poised up on that balance beam. Remember, just 4 inches wide. Great skills like that jump straddle full turn. That was extremely difficult. One last skill to perform, the dismount. Double back, nice and high. Great routine, nice exercise. I don't think Mina is too pleased. She knows it could have been a little bit better. She had that one small problem in the interior of her beam routine, but watch this tumbling skill. Combination of back handsprings and layout. She does 4 in a row. There's the layout. Square onto the balance beam. She even had some room to spare at the end there. Here's where she had some problems. Nice combination, working through the balance beam into a V, press up. And then right here, she almost lost it, almost flipped over. You can see she's working that hand around to pull herself back onto the beam.
I think she's stuck.
Well, let's find out if she indeed got stuck. Let's go down to Marianne Gravelbohr.
Mina was a little wild, but you hung on.
Yeah, on my million check, the skill before, my handstand was a little over, so I had to get back on my back and everything.
Good enough to make it to the second round?
Let's see how Ryan does.
Good luck.
And here is 21-year-old Brian Yee, Mina Kim's teammate. He's a senior at the University of Minnesota.
Teammate of John Roethlisberger, the recent American Cup champion. Can't imagine starting out on pommel horse. Not too many athletes would choose this event. It typically is analogous to the women's balance beam, but his partner did it, so I guess he feels that it's okay for him as well. Small problem right there. He hits that pommel, but really keeps going quite well. Another little bit of a struggle right there. Brian has a nice line on the pommel horse. Just the dismount here. Hop to a handstand and a good exercise for Brian Yee.
Brian Yee in his final year of eligibility for the University of Minnesota. His teammate Mina Kim awaiting her score as well.
Brian does a number of travels all across the horse without using the pommels. Steps down to the middle, and he just brushes his legs right there, and of course they come apart, and of course that is a deduction.
So we'll await the score of Team Yee and Kim, and Mina Kim has been waiting for her score. They do not release her score until after both the members of the team have completed the routines. And the score for Mina, 9.775. Excellent score. Brian Yee, just a 9.3, and just over 19, the combined round 1 score for Brian Yee and Mina Kim. And they are the first round leaders. Kim and Brian Yee. The other American team to advance is Rob Kiefer and Mohini Bhardwaj. Remember, the top 8 teams advance after round 1 into round 2. There's a list of the top 8. J.C. Phelps and Josh Stein had an unexpected early exit. international meet held in the United States. The McDonald's American Cup was held, and that is where Romania's Ana Maria Bican finished second to the United States' Christy Powell, and she had one fine floor exercise.